It's so totally me to be on my way out the door and then remember that I've got something that I was supposed to grab, which is the blowhorn for this little event of small children. Whoa. Optimus, stop. Sorry. Jeez, I'm sorry. It's just me. Beware my guard dog. Got it. Whoop whoop. I love you. Guard the house. Be a good boy, okay? Oh, there we go. We're here and setting up for this fun activity. My friends. Hey, friend. This is so exciting. You excited for the carnival? Yes? Come on. Let's do this. So I am lucky enough to have the opportunity, the church that I go to work with the youth, and so we're having a party for the kids. It's a pool filled with water, obviously, and then it's got marbles in it. And they have 30 seconds to pick up as many marbles as they can with their feet. So this is just really just an opportunity for them to get wet, an excuse to get wet. Hey, why not? I love getting wet. And then I've got my blowhorn, I've got my spray bottle to spray off the kids that start getting a little rowdy. Oh man!
The hole in the head.
So we went and got some dinner, and we've just been talking about what so far we've been dealing with as far as the medicine goes. I mean, it's only been a couple days since we started upping the injections, but I don't know, I think there's already been a difference.
So the doctor said that I would get like aggressive, that's what he put it, but what essentially has happened is that I've just felt different, just chemically more, I don't know. Like, I guess the best way to describe it is sometimes I feel like I'm like a tiger at a zoo, and you know how the tiger just like paces in front of like the cage and just keeps pacing and just pacing and pacing and pacing. And you know that if like that cage like busted open at any point, like he would just like rip out the throats of like all the people there.
All the small children.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel sometimes. It's just like it's been kind of hard because you know it's sometimes it's hard pretending that you're normal when you don't feel normal. The weird thing is that this isn't like the first time that chemically I've been kind of like different off, because when right before my mission, so when I was like 19, they tried to jumpstart my body then too, and so like there was some times when during that time that I was just like like just not good and not like fun to be around, and I just stayed in my room like literally all the time. Like that's all I ever did was just stay in my room, because like just being with people was just horrible. And so now, like now as an adult, it's like a little different situation. I have to go outside, I have to like go to work, I have to deal with people, and so it's not as bad as it was back then, and I'm a lot more wise than I was then. But at the same time, you know, like I'm chemically I don't know, way different, and so it's harder for me to like kind of like resist the introvert urges that I have, like just not wanting to talk to people anyway, and being grumpy and ornery, and trying to be like that charismatic person that sometimes I have to try to be. It's like sometimes really hard. Like Glenn was like, oh hey, how's it going? Oh hey Jared, go. And I'm just like secretly inside I'm just like and so it's been kind of interesting. Like I haven't felt normal. I don't even remember what normal feels like, really. And it's been an adventure. What do we call him? We call it...
Oh, we decided to call Jared's angry personality Archibald. Or Archie for short.
That's right, Archie.
So
I'm being Archie. That's when I'm being ornery. It's like I'm being Archie.
So I know not to take it personally.
Yeah. And I've already kind of snapped at you a few times. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, and this actually may be some of the hardest months of our marriage, you know, dealing with this, me having the patience to look past the aggressiveness, the orneriness, whatever you want to call it, and understand that it's not necessarily, it's Jared saying it, but it's not Jared saying it.
Yeah.
But Jared's very kind and very thoughtful, and he's very cautious about his words and the things that he says to people. So the idea that like you're very snappish and like
and mean almost
and almost on edge. So and I think that's kind of what it is. Almost like you're waiting for the rubber band to break. It's been stretched to nearly its breaking point, and it's almost ready to snap. I mean, that's kind of the couple times that you have snapped at me. That's how it's felt. So
it sucks because like inside you realize it's almost like you're watching a TV show where you are the main character, but you have like sometimes like almost like no control of your actions, and so like you're like almost like impotently yelling at the television screen going, no man, why are you doing that? Don't say that, you know, don't do that, you know, like just go away, you know, like. And so like sometimes I feel like there's like two separate sides of me, and the one that's like saying these
personalities.
things, yeah, the one that's saying these things, it's just like, and then the real me that's like, oh, now I've got to fix this, and you know, it's like I totally believe in like responsibility and personal responsibility and being in, you know, like held responsible for the things that you do and the choices that you make. And I'm one, like Jessica said, I'm one that I'm not gonna like make those choices that consciously I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings, you know, like yeah, sure, I'll make a mistake and get angry and maybe say some things that I regret, but it's weird when like you feel like you almost don't have control. Like that's why I think I have empathy toward like some of the disorders that people go through where the brain chemistry's off and they're like dealing with like depression, or they're dealing with all sorts of stuff, and they really just almost can't control what they're doing because of the brain chemistry, just because of chemicals, because of like medication and
hormones
things like that. And even though I do have some of these kind of like issues, I still retain like a level of control that, you know, over my actions. And so I don't like foist upon this like all responsibility for my actions. I can still control it. It's just, I got you. Girl, I got your back. Studio C.
Ugh. Ah, mosquitoes!
What I was saying is that while this makes doing some things a little bit harder to control, I still have that control. And you know, like I'm a religious person, so you know, like I also believe that I can go for extra help through, you know, different means, through a higher power and
prayer
and yeah, through prayer and things like that, and which has helped me a ton. And so yeah, while I do struggle being normal, at the same time there's been times where inside I feel like the raging tiger guy, but outside I've still been able to like come off as a normal individual. And so I've been grateful for that. Grateful that I'm a little bit more wise than I was when I was 19, and that I'm not like just letting it take complete control.
Like it did then.
Like it did then. And so like I'm actually, you know, like maybe I'm wrestling with it, and maybe, you know, there's sometimes that it'll slip through. But for the most part, you know, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job so far. I mean, then we're going to up the dose again And so
in like a month. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see if that keeps the same level of control. But
Oh my goodness, that scared me. Jared's afraid of most.
I'm afraid of hornets, wasps, and bees. And I have a story because I'm afraid of both.
Once upon a time.
I was a child. And
How old were you?
I don't know, I think I was like 7 or 8. So the fields, there used to be like this open thing, and then there used to be like these 3 trees that were kind of like the landmarks of these fields. If you want to think of them as like cities, the family tree, small tree, and then a little bit farther, what we call the swamp tree. Anyway, the family tree was ours, and at the time we were like the little kids. And the swamp tree, where it was kind of like where the big kids kind of like claimed 4 or 5 trees that kind of grew up in this like really close together, and they had built this hut all around and up in the that connected all 5 of the trees. It was a really cool place. But we, you know, we only had 1 tree, but that was like the tree that we were allowed to go play.
Your tree. Close enough to home that moms could see.
I remember our one day, it was like probably like after lunch, like probably towards dinner time, and I remember looking out the back door. I remember looking out there. Anyway, so I saw a bunch of kids at the small tree. They're playing I Don't Want to Be Left Out, so I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm going, go.
Okay.
I ran out. As I ran out to the fields and kind of like ran round a corner, one of the older kids had picked up a rake and had thrown it.
Javelin style.
And yeah, it was an epic throw. As I recall in my kid mind, it was an epic throw.
Slow motion.
And I remember watching it leave the kid's hand and like just fly towards this like massive hornet's nest.
Slow-mo.
And the hornet's nest was huge. I remember it being huge, but then again, I'm like a little kid. It was big. It was really big.
Ones that are like rounded on the top and it comes to a point at the bottom, and it's like the paper wasps.
Yeah.
It's a paper wasp nest. Okay.
Yeah.
Paper wasps, not hornets.
Oh. Well, this whole time I've been blaming hornets and it's been paper wasps. Look at that. It's a case of
mistaken
sure.
blame.
Yeah. I feel bad now, sort of. Not really.
Not really. No. So
anyway,
he hurls the...
He hurls the rake, and I remember seeing it hit it, and the thing would just like fall, and it hit the ground, and it just like
exploded.
And then this like just big black cloud just came up, and they're like, "Run, Jared!" And everyone like. Whoa. Anyway, so I was like the last to run, and so like all the paper wasps were like, "It's him!" And they all attack me. And I'm like covered in them, and they were in my nose and my ears and my eyes, covered in them. Like,
did you fall down a couple times?
Yeah, and I ran home because that's what every kid does is they run home.
And they get hurt. Mom!
My mom. I remember my mom telling me that she was washing dishes and she looked out and she could see like this like black cloud around me, and then. See me running and falling and running and falling, and we didn't know what was wrong.
She's told the story we've talked about.
She ran out and she saw, and as I drew closer, she saw that there was like wasps all over me, and so she like grabbed the hose, sprayed me down, and like got all the wasps off. And then we counted like we stopped counting at like 150, but there was like more.
Wow.
Jihad.
Phobia.
Yeah, anaphobia.
Of flying insects?
Not flying insects. It's not flying insects. It's literally hornets, wasps, and bees.
Anything that has a stinger that flies.
So that's the story. That's why I hate them. Subscribe if you hate bees, wasps, and hornets, and you want to join my jihad.
Thanks for watching.
Mm-hmm.
Share with a friend.
Do all that electronic stuff.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Mom spit. Ooh! Oh my God!
That one was for free.